Hello, welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to use an Elite TM. Don't do this at home, I just did it for the video. On Dragapult, I don't have charge TMs. I actually used 8 charge TMs on this Pokemon and has 3 possible charge moves later on when you have a second one unlocked, and I never got the one that I wanted. So I used an Elite charge TM for Breaking Swipe on Dragapult. The team that we have here is another legend team, this time around from Driftblimmen, or like, I don't think it's actually a legend team for them, I think they were a legend before, but they hit 3123 MMR, or like ELO, with this team here, so congrats to them. A link is going to be down in the description. But yeah, today we're going to take a look at Dragapult, and this Pokemon is actually way more potential than I thought it would have, and as we will see as well, this team works out quite well. There's one issue for the team, which you're gonna take a look at or like talk a little bit about as well later on in the video, but feel free to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already, would really appreciate it, helps out the channel as we're going to see that Cristian go down and the opponent forfeiting. So, what big problem is there for this team? I'm fairly certain it is going to be very difficult for this team to beat the weakly tough double ground line. You have a ground weakness in the back, which is your main safe stop in the Drapion. Yes, you're going to have Awkward here, which is going to be a decent coverage move. And yes, you're going to be a Dugong in the back, which is going to be decent against most of the ground type Pokemon. But still, you're going to usually lose alignment with that one. And then it's kind of difficult to beat a weakly tough plus a ground type Pokemon with just the Dugong in the lead. And that's like the main weakness of this team. Right now, there have been other videos as well, which I didn't see beforehand, about the team that I showcased yesterday as well, which was the one that someone else got to Legend with as well, which I saw a million times on my own Legend run as well from different people running, which is just weakly tough double ground, which does make a lot of sense. Weakly tough having the weakness of basically dark, it's good against, of course, against poison as well as steel type Pokemon, and ground just covering this up. Weakly tough being the charm user, which is still doing a lot of fast move pressure. Then you're going to have the mud type users, which are going to just do a lot of damage after the recent buff as well. It is just a very nice fast move pressure team and very good in the current meta, and very good for also the Clodsire and Toxapex and the Digger Speeds of this world. So it just does make sense, and so those teams going to be very common, and those teams might be a little bit tricky for this one against everything else. This team was amazing, and as you're gonna see here as well, Dragapult was amazing. Like, this Pokemon was lovely. I hope there's going to be another meta. I think there might be another meta coming up where I could try this Pokemon out again, because it was worth it. So if you haven't built a Dragapult yet, I actually would really recommend you to try to build one for the Ultra and Great League, also for the Master League if you can, but of course, like, if you have 296 Rare XL or like XL candy for this Pokemon, that would be crazy. I would have the Rare XL candies for this Pokemon if I wanted to really build it, but I don't have a hundo of this Pokemon, of course, and so I'm not going to do that. But yeah, that option would be, of course, there for you. Which, like, the thing as well, where a lot of people are like confused about, oh, why have people this and this Pokemon built at this point of time? I think I actually gained over 1000 Rare XL candy already in Pokemon Go, so like total, I just used a lot of them already, so it's definitely easy to get those as well. I wish just it would be as easy to get charge TMs as well. I actually do every single raid that I see nearby, like the two gyms that are next to me that are 3 and 5 star raids, and I still don't have enough charge TMs to just do my channel here, which is kind of annoying, so hopefully in the end they're going to change something with it. But anyway, we want to now concentrate a little bit more on the gameplay, because I know some people complain about me talking about different topics. So anyway, we're going to see here the Ace Wing coming through from our Dugong. It can be also a bit tricky to deal with the Feraligatr with this team, I have to admit. And also what you're going to see here is kind of something unfortunate, because I swap out basically, I think, like a turn too late or something, because I got the Hydro Cannon off before I even see the charge move animation. And I think if I got the charge move through, which I wanted to get through there, I would have been able to win the battle. Wasn't able to. Good game to the opponent. So, how is the matchup against Gastrodon? Gastrodon is going to be an interesting pick here for sure, and I decided to go straight for the Breaking Swipe. Breaking Swipe has the 50% chance of dropping the opponent's attack, which is quite important to get, which we rarely really got, to be fair. Like, I don't think there were like really a lot of matchups where I was lucky with Breaking Swipe and really just won the battles because I got the Breaking Swipe debuff. Those rarely actually happened, which I have to say, which kind of also would maybe make the team even better than it was for me if I was a little bit more lucky with it. But anyway, we want to see here the opponent having a Driftblim, and the opponent also having balls, because literally a crunch wolf knocked them out straight away. I decided to go for the bait because they have 2 shields there left. So yeah, great call from the opponent, like literally great call from the opponent. This is a ridiculously strong call there from them, especially as I decide to now let the move go through again. And so I guess they were just trying to win the battle with Talonflame. And here's the thing, Talonflame against Dugong is actually not that good for Talonflame, which is kind of nice for us. Yes, we're a water type Pokemon, but we're also part ice typing, so we both do like neutral damage the entire time with our moves, and the opponent does it with their moves, but we have the option to go for Icy Wind, dropping the opponent's attack. And what is also great here, they cannot one-shot me, and I can still go for another one. This is going to force either another shield or get them just insanely low, and as you will see, we're going to get the shield, and this is going to allow me to take the hit here, and I can just win the battle because we have a Shadow Ball stored on our Dragapult, and this is going to be a very good game. A Shadow Ball easily going to be able to pick up that KO. Next opponent, Lowkicks. Lowkicks is going to be doing super effective damage against us here, and we're going to swap out into the Drapier, and in comes the Digger's Bee. This is going to be great in order to get some nice damage in against them, but generally speaking, yeah, my Pokemon on the back is going to be a little bit better against it, which is going to be my Dugong. Maybe we're still going to be able to outspeed them in time here. We're going to be able to go for one Awkward here. I mean, we can definitely use a shield here as well, it's going to be the Scorching Sands and get to another Awkward here afterwards, but they go for the Fire Punch. Very smart play by the opponent. We're still going to outspeed them here, but it is tricky. It is definitely very, very tricky. And so what we're going to try next is we're going to swap out into the Dugong. This is going to be fine. We're going to try our best here again. We're going to see what the opponent going to do. They decide to go for the Scorching Sand, and we're going to see the Toxapex swapping in against us. And what we're going to try to do next is going to be another Drill Run that is coming through against the opponent. And this is going to allow us now as well to get them insanely low, and we can even try to go for another move. And again, like, there are a lot of poison type Pokemon currently around, and this is really, really great for this team, or like especially for Dragapult, as Dragapult is just going to be able to resist that poison type damage with the ghost typing that we have. But also here for matchups like the Toxapex, you resist every single hit from the opponent, which is really, really good. The one issue is we're not that bulky, which you're gonna see here as well. Still, Sludge Wave did quite a lot of damage here, and we have to hope that somehow our Dragapult is going to be able to win the battle. I have to say, I didn't play every single battle perfectly either. I definitely saw that as well. Here, we just have to hope for a lot of debuffs. First, Breaking Side coming through, getting no debuff, and now the next one is coming through, and I guess it doesn't really matter at this point. I need 2 debuffs against the opponent to have a chance here, because otherwise Extra is just going to do a little bit too much damage against me. And so they can go for the Extra, knock me out, and win the battle. Low Kicks is just my nemesis. Honestly, Low Kicks is my nemesis. Next opponent, we're going to have the Clodsire in the lead. This is a very decent matchup for us. Usually, at least, we're going to be able to win this one quite easily. The opponent decides to go for a Stone Edge here. Like, we saw this already because they went for 7 fast moves. You need 8 to get to an Earthquake, and so Stone Edge is going to be definitely a little bit better for us to deal with, as like an Earthquake there, we were able to let the move go through. And they actually decide here to even go ahead and go into their Mandibuzz, which is a great matchup for us. We're gonna be able to go for another Icy Wind. We're gonna be able to, use no shield here against the opponent as well. And we're gonna be in a great position here for sure, as the opponent is gonna go still for another charge move. This is going to be great. It is going to be the aerial ace that is coming through from the opponent. And we're going to try to go for the full farm down here, but actually we're still forced to go for another charge move. We can hit like a few bubbles here as well. Doesn't really matter. But as we will see here, the opponent is going to be able to just get to another charge move. Fine for us. We can use a shield. That is totally okay. And we're going to try our best now to do something with the Icy Winds. And we see the opponent going back into the Clodsire. I'm just hoping at this point that one Breaking Strike plus the fast move pressure of Stab Astonish, which of course is the main reason why this Pokemon is so good. Like, Astonish is definitely the main reason for it, and Breaking Swipe, of course, Astonish Breaking Swipe is a great combination. Going to allow us here to now win the battle as well. We see the Breaking Swipe coming through against the Morpeko. We're gonna get the attack drop as well. We can go for another Breaking Swipe against the opponent's Morpeko as well. Trying to get another debuff here as well, which we don't get. And sadly, now we are forced to go into the Drapion. We try to catch the move. It didn't work out. This might actually really bite us now. Let's see. We're gonna let the move go through here, and it is going to be, luckily, the Aura Wheel, which, generally speaking, is going to be fine for us as well, because we can still use a shield here. Like, at the end of the day, if they go for another Aura Wheel, we're going to, like, they have like 10, now like they have 25 energy left or something like this, and we're going to be able to just knock them out here as well. And this is going to be great, as we're going to be able to move on now. Into the next battle, we're going to encounter a Azumarill lead, which is funnily enough not as bad as it seems, because he's still going to do some neutral fast move damage. He still have access to Shadow Ball. He's still going to be able to do a little bit of damage. At least we're going to see it swap out here now into the Dunsparce. Dunsparce is going to take a crunch. Dunsparce is going to have super effective damage against us, and I have never got a single crunch debuff, I think, with this team, which was also not really the idea, because if we get a crunch debuff, the next crunch would knock out the Dunsparce. It's actually very important in this matchup and makes it way, way easier to win it later on as well. Luckily, the opponent is gonna fall for my bait here, allowing me to guarantee realign myself in this scenario as well, as we are going to be able to go for a crunch now, and they still need one more extra fast move in order to get to their next charge move. And so what we will be able to do is align ourselves, go for a crunch against the Zoom roll, get them a little bit lower, have still the Dugong in the back, and this is looking pretty okay after having a bad one. And here, of course, we're gonna get the defense drop against with crunch, which I never remembered, but that's fine, at least not in scenarios where it mattered. I really got it. But there's about into the sandwich, and I'm like, how am I going to be able to win this battle now? And honestly, I'm fairly certain I have a Shadow Ball stored, and I think I completely misplayed this one. So let's see if I'm going to actually misplay this one or not. We will see the drill run coming through. I decide to, of course, stay in here. I can go for my own drill run eventually, but I'm fairly certain I'm like in a really winning spot here, so I'm not really know what I'm going to do here in order to mess this one up, but there might be a way of messing this one up. Let's find. Oh, they let the move go through. That's okay. Oh, they go for a charge move. Okay, yeah, this explains it. They have enough energy to go for a play rough. And so we're going to be forced to go for the bait here and hope that they either shield or get debuffs. Debuffs would be also a way of winning this one, being able to survive the opponent's moves. And of course, we never gonna get a debuff here from Breaking Swipe, as yeah, I think a double debuffed Ice Beam or like Play Rough would have easily been able to like be still survive, but we don't get this. And so yeah, Play Rough gonna knock us out and we can move on to the next opponent. Arctibex against us here allows us to swap out straight away into our Drapion. Drapion can go for a crunch, and crunch is going to do some solid damage. This is like the benefit of Drapion. The pacing is amazing, like literally so forgiving for like bad lead matchups, because you're going to be able to realign yourself eventually. And this is like the great thing about Drapion, as you're gonna be able to just get to crunch faster while swapping out, and then the opponent can go for a Dragon Claw, which is kind of ridiculous. And so as we will see here, they're going to have the Licky again. They can go for a Body Slam. It's not going to knock us out, and we can still go for a crunch afterwards in order to knock them out, which is really, really nice. And this is going to allow us to now align ourselves. We're going to have the Dugong against the Ice-type Pokemon. This is looking really, really promising, because now they have to go for Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw is not a strong move. Dragon Claw does 50 damage for 35 energy, which is okay. Don't get me wrong, it's fine. But it's not very strong. Like, it's honestly not very strong. If you run Arctibex, you usually want to rely on Avalanche, which is a 90 damage move for only 10 more energy. And this is, of course, then nearly double the amount of damage for only 10 more energy. It's ridiculous. But yeah, Dragon Claw is not really the best move that this Pokemon can go for. But they're going to reveal that they're going to have a Toxapex in the back. And I can go for a drill run here to get them a little bit lower or get the final shield, allowing me to go now into our Dragapult and look at this boy. I'm really happy that they made this Pokemon good, by the way, because it looks like so cool. Like, I really like this Pokemon. It was very strong in the main series games as well, and I always would like to see that those pseudo-legendary Pokemon are really, really good, because those are kind of later on, at least, easy to get for people, easy to get the XL candy for people later on, because they're always going to have one of those Pokemon as like a community day Pokemon every year. And so I really hope that they're always going to be good, which has not always been the case, but it's definitely the case here, which is good. Yeah, there's some underwhelming mythic, like not mythic Pokemons, but those are underwhelming pseudo-legendary Pokemons, which is a fan term. It's not actually an official term, but like Pokemon like Tyranitar could get a little bit of an upgrade, or the Salamence could get a little bit of an upgrade, which it got recently, like I think with Fly and the Shadow upgrade there, definitely helped it out a little bit, but it's still not really that great. But we may be going to have a video about this Pokemon very, very soon as well on this channel, so stay tuned for this one. But yeah, here we're going to see the second to last battle. It's not looking good for us. It's honestly not looking good for us. We're going to have the Feraligatr here. While we do neutral damage, the opponent is going to do resisted charge move damage. They're still going to do a lot of damage with the fast move, and Hydro Cannon is a busted move. Like, honestly, Hydro Cannon, I could see, without like trying to be like mean to the people that build all of the Hydro Cannon ones, I could see a change to Hydro Cannon coming. I could see that they may be gonna make it like Frenzy Plant. I think it might be better to have this one as a Frenzy Plant clone, I have to say. And yeah, we're sadly going to lose this battle here. Here's the one thing that I kind of feel like as well, like Niantic just focuses too much on water type Pokemon. Water type is already one of the best moves, or like types in the main series games, and I'm maybe, most likely in December, by the way, going to make more videos towards like the general meta game, because for December I'm going to be away for the most part of it, like in the last few weeks there basically, so it's going to be a bit tricky for me to do content here on the channel, so I kind of mostly want to produce some stuff, but I will definitely make a ranking for like types in Pokemon Go in terms of like the standard types, I think it's 18 total, types, and which one are the best and which one are like the worst kind of to use, and yeah, spoiler alert, water type is going to be the best one for sure at this point, and it's mainly based on Niantic not knowing that it is not the best idea to do hard-hitting charge moves on a typing that is one of the best defensive ones already, hits a lot of Pokemon neutral, and has a lot of great coverage with a lot of secondary typings, and water typing for sure is like the best typing currently, which is spoiler alert for this one. But again, maybe things gonna change, and honestly, other types are a little bit more interesting to take a look at anyway. But yeah, as you can see here, the Jumpluff is going to be able to take this Icy Wind, I would say. Icy Wind is going to knock that out, and we will see the Clodsire coming in the back there, and this is going to be a very good game. Like, the opponent has no chance of winning this one. They still have to get rid of the Dugong, which they have to go for a hard-hitting move, either something like Stone Edge or something like an Earthquake. Stone Edge coming through here, totally fine. And an Earthquake doesn't even knock out our Dragapult, and so we're gonna win the final battle here. So thanks all so much for watching this video. Very cool team here, a very strong team for sure. Nice legend team, or like even 3100 plus elo range team with Dragapult, and it's going to be it for this one. Hopefully you enjoyed. See you then. Bye bye.